Yo, it's JJ from 845, and look what arrived today, and what I'm probably returning. So this is Zacuto's new FS5 Z Finder. As you already know from Zacuto's products, they're all just built really well. They feel good, and I just feel like they're just meant to last. If you guys didn't know already, the FS5 LCD screen has no proper way to put a loop. So if you own their previous products, you can't actually use it because this thing is just meant and built exactly for Sony FS5 screen. The way this thing works is that you would slide in the this thing, or all of this, into the LCD screen of the FS5, and then just like the FS7, you're still able to use the LCD screen that would pop out, just like that. Now the problem, with it is that this thing just adds weight to a camera that's supposed to be a run and gun camera. So altogether, these two pretty much come together, and then this is the optional top plate. But altogether, all of this pretty much weighs over 2 pounds. And for a camera that's supposed to be run and gun, that weighs around 5 pounds, not including a lens, the weight just starts to add up. For me, using the Z Finder with just the FS5 doesn't make sense. And to be fair, I think that how you're supposed to be using the viewfinder is with a shoulder mount rig, and that way you have the touch points in order to stabilize the camera and pretty much mimic an E&G camera. While I like the idea of building out the FS5 for a full-on shoulder mount rig, the problem is we end up losing the versatility when it comes to shooting. So when it comes to looking at an accessory like this, I think you really have to figure out what is the shooting style that you're going after. For me, the thought was using the viewfinder to block out the light and being able to use the LCD screen without using an external screen. And for that, I will say that the quality is there. So here's how you mount this to that. You're going to take the LCD screen, you're going to slide it into the bracket. There's a little lever right here to lock it. So by itself, this thing is heavy. When I first installed it, I was wondering why this thing is just not keeping, the weight. So if you see right here, it's so heavy that it's going to slide no matter what orientation you have the LCD screen. So what they've included is this little thing right here. Pretty much this thing will lock it, and the way that works is there's little holes right here, and you're going to go ahead and line this thing up, and then you're going to lock it. So you put this in right here, and now this thing is not going to pretty much go anywhere. So as far as attaching this, there are two ways. One, you can use that top plate as mentioned, and you're going to install this right here, and then this would go right into there. But for the sake of this, I'm not going to take time to screw these onto the plate. So we're just going to use included, I guess what we call like the short 15mm rod that came with the camera. And you're basically going to attach this, and then you're going to screw it onto here, or you can screw it onto here. So after you attach this to back onto the camera, you simply slide this onto one of these 2 points, and you're going to use this to basically lock it. And once you have it attached, it's pretty much solid, right? So as you can see from the side view, that's how it looks like from both sides. For me, what I do like about this current setup is that I can adjust it. The only thing is I can't swing this left or right. So it's really meant to be put on your shoulder, so that way this thing is positioned in the middle. And that makes total sense because, like I said, to be fair with the product, it's intended to be used with eventually a shoulder mount rig. So that way, if you were to do this and hold it right in front of you, right, your head's going to be on the left side. So in order to center it, you need to put this onto your shoulder, and that way the entire system is just offset. And that way this is going onto either your left or your right eye. While the quality is there with the FS5 Z Finder, I feel like you'll get the most out of it if you transform your FS5 unit into a shoulder mount rig. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions regarding the Z Finder or the FS5 unit itself, feel free to leave a question below and I'll get back to y'all. Cheers.